Good morning, folks. It's Monday, May the 18th, and you're tuned to another fine episode of Waking Up with Danny. Well, let's just get right on with it.
News, headlines and things. It's time for the news. What does it all mean? News, headlines around the world. It's time for the news. I'm waking up with Danny. News.
In her wildest dreams, Alyssa de la Sala never imagined this. A crowd so large at her Lutz lemonade stand, officers had to direct traffic. A fire not only destroyed their home 2 years ago, but the family says the builder never completed the work, leaving them to pick up the pieces. Alyssa, heartbroken and seeing her parents suffer, Alyssa decided to do something herself. Her lemonade stand, set up with her brother Damien, also featuring home-baked goods, brought people from far away as Hernando County. One person gave $500 and another giving $1,000 for a cup of lemonade. Not only did even strangers give, the first responders to the fire showed up in support. Deputies reached out to businesses. Countless came through. Word got out and she raised $15,000 in one day. How about that, little Alyssa? A true hero in a world that needs more heroes.
It's time for the weather. 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 Waking up with Danny.
A potent upper-level system ejecting out of the Rockies led to severe weather outbreak in the plains Saturday into the early hours of Sunday morning. There were 28 reports of tornadoes across 9 states during this time, including Minnesota, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, Iowa, and Louisiana. Severe thunderstorms with damaging wind gusts, large hail, and a few tornadoes will flare up once again in the central states on Sunday, affecting a swath that spanned from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Iowa, and Illinois to portions of Missouri, Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma, and East Texas. Well, let's zoom out and get some current conditions. We got 55 and cloudy in San Francisco, 54 and sunshine in Seattle, 52 and partly cloudy in Boise. Albuquerque is partly cloudy at 52. Denver, Colorado, cloudy at 43. Omaha, sunny at 50. Minneapolis, cloudy at 42. And Chicago, sunshine, 67. Atlanta, Georgia, 70, and thunderstorms. Orlando, Florida, is partly cloudy and 71. Miami, Florida, 77 and partly cloudy. New Orleans is rain and thunderstorms and partial sun, 78. And San Antonio, Texas, is thunderstorms with 77, and Dallas, 65, thunderstorms. And Santa Clara, California, is 55 and partly cloudy. Look for a high of 68 today. Moving on.
It's 4th and goal on the 1-yard line. The quarterback takes a snap from the center. He hands the ball to the running back. He takes it to the outside to try to find the goal. Will he score? Morning show on Waking Up with Danny. Yeah. Did that running back score the final touchdown? We'll find out today. It's Waking Up with Danny.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said Thursday night, "We will personally hear the suspension appeal of Super Bowl MVP Tom Brady, who challenged the league's punishment for his role using deflated balls during the AFC Championship game." The NFL Players Association filed the expected appeal about an hour before 5 p.m. deadline on Thursday, asking for a neutral arbitrator to hear the case. NFL spokesperson Greg Aiello confirmed about 6 hours later that the commissioner had rejected the request. Well, that drama builds there, doesn't it?
It's time for traffic to see what's going on. It's time for traffic on Waking Up with Danny.
It's fine out there. Don't worry about it.
The stock market, the Dow, the indexes, money's and matters, money's and matters and
the tech sector is fertile ground for growth and innovation, and this can be enormously profitable for investors over the long term. Furthermore, industry giants such as Apple, Google, and Amazon.com have consolidated rock-solid competitive positions in their respective businesses. Thus, they look well positioned to continue delivering big gains for investors in 2015 and beyond. So long story short, get out there, buy some Apple, Google, and Amazon stock. It's poised to grow over the next 20 years.
And you know you gotta learn something today. Make your life better. The more you know, the more you know. You'll make your life better. And you know you gotta learn something today. You make your life better. And the more you know, the more you know. You'll make your life better. Today I learned. You'll make your life better. Today I learned. You'll make your life better. Today I learned. The more you know, the more you know. Today I learned. I'm waking up with Danny.
Well, pepperoni pizza may not lower your risk of heart disease, but the greasy, gooey treat still could save your life. A Domino's delivery driver rescued an elderly customer after realizing the Tennessee woman who has always placed an order for a large, thin-crust pepperoni pizza hadn't called in days. Jean Wilson, 82 of Memphis, placed the same order every day for the past 3 years. We make her pizza every day before she even calls. We know she's going to call. Delivery driver Susan Guy said. Guy grew concerned and insisted to her boss Monday that she go to Wilson's home and check on her. When no one answered Wilson's door, Guy called police, who discovered Wilson lying on the floor inside. The woman who lives alone had fallen on Saturday and was unable to get up to call for help. Wilson is recovering in a hospital from minor injuries. Investigators said it's possible her pizza diet saved her life. Guy is being praised as a hero. I'm overwhelmed, she said. I'm just a pizza deliverer. That is all.
Today in history, a lot of things have happened. Maybe a man flew to the moon. Maybe a baby was saved by a baboon. We'll get to the bottom of this and much, much more on Today in History. I'm waking up with Danny.
Well, today is May 18th, 2015. Today is Accounting Day, HIV Vaccine Awareness Day, I Love Reese's Day, the International Museum Day, Mother Whistler Day, no idea, National Cheese Souffle Day, National No Dirty Dishes Day, National Visit Your Relatives Day, and World Baking Day. Let's bake us some pies. Well, on this day, so many a year ago, in 1980, Mount St. Helens blows its top in Washington State. 60 people die. In 1953, Jacqueline Cochran is the first woman to break the sound barrier. In 1951, the UN moves its headquarters to New York City. And in 1927 on this day, Grauman's Chinese Theater opens in Hollywood, California. And in 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte was proclaimed the Emperor of France.
Births and deaths. People were born and died today. We're gonna talk about it. Waking up with Danny, talking about life and death.
Well, in 1970, Tina Fey was born on this day. In 1946, Reggie Jackson. 1897, Frank Capra was born. In 1883, Walter Gropius also was born. And in 1872, Bertrand Russell was also born. People also died. In 1992, Marshall Thompson, an actor from Bog, dies of congestive heart failure at 65. Skip Stevenson, comedian and real people, dies of a heart attack at 52 in 1992. In 1985, Tex Terry, an actor, Patchy Rose and Timberjack, dies at 82. In 1975, Leroy Anderson, a composer, he died at 66. In 1961, Henry O'Neill, an actor from Lady Killer and Nothing But Trouble, also dies. James T. Adams, a U.S. historian, died in 1949. And in 1930, Uau Marcialio Arraro, composer, dies at 68. And in 323, the year 323, Alexander III the Great, king of Macedonia and a conqueror, dies at 32 years young. And in 526, John I, Pope, from 523 to 526, also doth perish in the night.
Time for the quack.
A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. It was a Greek proverb. And the word of the day, devolve. It's a verb meaning to transfer or be passed, duties, rights, powers, etc., onto another. Or it means to deteriorate or degenerate. Some etymology from the Latin devolvere, to roll down, from de, which means down, to volvere, to roll. Ultimately from the Indo-European root well, which means to turn or roll, which also gave us waltz, revolve, valley, walk, vault, volume, wallet, helix, and voluble. Earliest documented use was the year 1420. Here's some usage. In Indonesia has devolved much authority to local government. That was fanfare from the common man, The Economist, London, UK, July 26th, 2014. Where the event devolved into violence on both sides. Nick Pinto, The Point of Order, The New York Times Magazine, January 18th, 2015. And a bonus thought for the day. I found one day in school a boy of medium size ill-treating a smaller boy. I expostulated, but he replied, "The bigs hit me, so I hit the babies. That's fair." In these words, he epitomizes the history of the human race. Bertrand Russell said this, a philosopher, mathematician, author, and a Nobel laureate. Lived from 1872 and died on this day, 18th of May. Every day is born a new hero. He faces adversary with a mighty sword. Will he live? Will he die? We don't know. We'll leave it in the hands of the story. Short stories on Waking Up with Danny. Short stories on Waking Up with Danny. They're the opposite of long stories. They're actually quite short in length. They're short stories on Waking Up with Danny. Not long but short the stories are. Not long but short the stories are. The hero fighting against the dark forces of the forest. Waking up with waking up, waking up, waking up, waking up, waking up, waking up and down the short story. Short stories with Danny. It was 12 o'clock at night. Mitya Kuldarov, with excited face and ruffled hair, flew into his parents' flat and hurriedly ran through all the rooms. His parents had already gone to bed. His sister was in bed, finishing the last page of a novel. His schoolboy brothers were asleep. "Where have you come from?" cried his parents in amazement. "What is the matter with you?" "Oh, don't ask. I never expected it. No, I never expected it. It's positively incredible." Mitya laughed and sank into an armchair, so overcome by happiness that he could not stand on his legs. "It's incredible! You can't imagine! Look!" His sister jumped out of the bed and, throwing a quilt around her, went in to her brother. The schoolboys woke up. "What's the matter? You don't look yourself." "It's because I'm so delighted, Mama. Do you know, now all Russia knows me. All Russia. Till now only you know that there was a registration clerk called Dmitry Kuldarov. And now all Russia knows it. Mama, oh Lord." Mitya jumped up and ran up and all down the rooms and then sat down again. "Why? What has happened? Tell us sensibly." You live like wild beasts, so you don't read the newspaper and take no notice of what's published? And there's so much that is interesting in the papers. If anything happens, it's all known at once. Nothing is hidden. How happy I am. Oh, Lord. You know it's only celebrated whose names are published in the papers, and now they have gone and published mine. What do you mean? Where? The papa turned pale. The mama glanced at the holy image and crossed herself. The schoolboys jumped out of bed, and just as they were in short nightshirts, went up to their brother. Yes, my name has been published. Now all Russia knows of me. Keep the paper, Mama, in memory of it. We will read it sometimes. Look! Mitya pulled out of his pocket a copy of the paper, gave it to his father, and pointed with his finger to a passage marked with a blue pencil. Read it! The father put on his spectacles. Do read it! The mama glanced at the holy image and crossed herself. The papa cleared his throat and began to read. At 11 o'clock on the evening of the 29th of December, a registration clerk of the name of Dmitry Koldarov. You see? Go on. A registration clerk of the name of Dmitry Koldarov, coming from the beer shop in Kozahin's building in Little Bronaria, in an intoxicated condition. That's me and Sermon Petrovich. It's all described exactly. Go on. Listen. Intoxicated condition. Slipped and fell under a horse belonging to a sledge driver, a peasant of the village of Dokinio in the Yuhunsky district, called Evan Drotov. The frightened horse stepping over Koldarov and drawing the sledge over him, together with a Moscow merchant of the second guild called Stepan Lukov, who was in it, dashed along the street and was caught by some house porters. Koldarov, at first in an unconscious condition, was taken to the police station and there examined by the doctor. The blow he received on the back of the head, it was from the shaft, Papa. Go on, read the rest. He had received on the back of his head turned out not to be serious. The incident was duly reported. Medical aid was given to the injured man. They told me to foment the back of my head with cold water. You've read it now? Ah, do you see? Now all of Russia. Give it here. Mitya seized the paper, folded up, and put it in his pocket. I'll run round to the Makarovs and show it to them. I must show it to the Avinskyas too. Natasya, Aviova. I'll run. Goodbye. Mitya put on his cap with his cockade and, joyful, triumphant, ran into the street. Well, that was Joy by Anton Chekhov. I'd like to spend the next few weeks telling some of his short stories. That's gonna do it for this episode of Waking Up with Danny. Join me next Monday, May 25th, for the next episode, Waking Up with Danny. Thank you for listening. See you next time.